Greetings and welcome to Little Readers Podcast dedicated to literacy, listening skills, comprehension, and a love of reading. This episode is strictly for seasonal fun, and it is dedicated to first responders everywhere. We appreciate all that you do every day. The title of our story today is Dear Santa, I know it looks bad, but it wasn't my fault. Written by Norma Lewis and illustrated by Olivia Beckman, published by Peter Pauper Press, Incorporated in 2018. The main character in this story is a cat named Scalawag. His owner's name is Miss Violet, and her friend Mitzi are minor characters. And once again, personification is used by the author to give Scalawag a personality and a voice. Let's begin. Scalawag has been an outstanding cat all year, but just to clear things up with Santa, he attempts to write a series of letters to explain things that may lead to him being on the naughty list. His first letter was written on December 15th. It reads like this. Dear Santa, I've been an outstanding cat all year. I was never a picky eater. I tried every new food in front of me. I always finished my dinner, and I only ate Miss Violet's cake once. Sometimes I played too rough with our canary Caruso, but he usually started it. Okay, so about my Christmas gift. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but a cat can have too many catnip mice. I like catnip as much as anyone, but every year Miss Violet helps me open my present and then waits for me to act like a total doofus over a box of pink mice. It's hard to hold on to my dignity. So this year, may I instead have a Catman and Robin video game? The one where they break up the catnip smuggling ring. Sounds perfect. Your friend, Scalawag. Scalawag writes to Santa again on December 16th. He writes, Dear Santa, you might hear a different story, but this is what really happened, and it wasn't my fault. Miss Violet let Caruso out of his cage while she cleaned it. He flew into my tail, and I called him a bird brain. He is a bird, isn't he? So I grabbed him. What's wrong with that? I would never eat him. I'd much rather have tuna than a yucky canary. Who wants a mouthful of feathers? Not me. Caruso was flying around the room when Miss Violet's friend Mitzi dropped in. She spotted a canary feather on my chin, and she hollered, Scalawag ate Caruso! I scooted outside because Mitzi's screeching made my head hurt. Remember, I did not leave the door open. Mitzi did. I know now that the new thing next door is a sandbox for kids. But it looked like a litter box for cats. Just my luck. I got caught using it. Before I knew it, the neighbor had me by the scruff of my neck. Of course he tattled. Caruso was back in his cage by then. He smirked at me. And then went back to admiring himself in the mirror. Some folks think cats have an attitude. We don't hold a candle to canaries. Don't forget my video game. Your friend, Scalawag. Then on December 17th, Scalawag wrote Santa again. Something terrible happened today, but it wasn't my fault. I was helping Miss Violet. Honest. She left a little milk in the pitcher, so I cleaned it out for her. When I was done, I was stuck. If you've ever gotten stuck in something, you know I'm the victim here. Caruso squawked until Miss Violet came. She grabbed me up, pitcher and all, and ran out the door. A police officer saw her running and gave us a ride. That was cool. except for the pitcher. Dr. Tim, our vet, is okay, but Mitzi works in the office. She gave me a dirty look. I didn't get stuck on purpose. I was helping Miss Violet. They put me on a metal table. It was cold and gave me a shot. Dr. Tim said,
Scalawag, this will help you relax.
"You try relaxing with a needle in your rump and a pitcher on your head." Dr. Tim greased my neck with something goopy. The pitcher slipped off. But then things got worse. They gave me a shower. There's nothing worse than a shower for a cat. Then, the dryer. I don't know which was worse, the water or the dryer. Finally, we could leave. "Of all the cats in the world, how did you get stuck with him?" Mitzi asked Miss Violet. Miss Violet replied, "Just lucky, I guess." After all that, don't you think I deserve the Catman and Robin video game? Your friend, Scalawag. December 18th, Scalawag wrote another letter to Santa. It said, "Dear Santa, I know it looks bad, but it wasn't my fault. Even outstanding cats have bad days, and today was a doozy. Miss Violet never once got angry at me about the pitcher or the sandbox, so I wanted to make her happy and put on a show. I found a red mouse. Remember, I have plenty. And I put on a show for Miss Violet and Mitzi. I batted it, I rolled with it, I chewed on it, then I batted it again." Miss Violet laughed herself silly. Even Mitzi smiled. It was worth losing a little of my dignity. We get along great, Miss Violet and me. I would never want her to get hurt. I batted the mouse a little too hard. That might be how it got on the tree. Of course, I went after it. Of course, I'm a cat. Mitzi yelled, "Scalawag's climbing the tree!" Tattletale. The tree wobbled. Miss Violet reached out to catch me. Crash! Candy canes flew. Ornaments fell. Glass shattered. The tree tipped over and on to Miss Violet. But Santa, she was only unconscious for a minute. Honest. And about the candle, I'm not sure who bumped the table. It might have been me. The fire never spread beyond the tablecloth, except for scorching the table and a tiny hole in the rug. Honest. Did I tell you the smoke detector went off? So... the firefighters came, and of course, Mitzi greeted them first. "The cat did it," Mitzi told the firefighters. The firefighters told the paramedics, "The cat did it." And they all said,
"Get rid of that cat."
Mitzi said, "Yes, Scalawag has to go." Miss Violet replied, "Nonsense. Since Scalawag moved in, I have fun. I laugh. He warms my feet all night and keeps me company all day. If that's not a good cat, what is? Of course he's mischievous. I named him Scalawag, didn't I? If I wanted a boring cat, I'd have named him Fred." I purred after hearing her say that. On December 24th, Scalawag wrote his last letter to Santa. It read, "Dear Santa, so don't bring me a Catman and Robin video game or anything else. Instead, please bring Miss Violet new Christmas tree ornaments. Did I mention that hers are broken? She loves the ones that look like nutcrackers. Your friend, Scalawag." The end. Now, boys and girls, did you notice at the end of the story, Scalawag felt bad for the trouble he caused, and asks Santa to replace Miss Violet's Christmas tree ornaments. It is always a good idea to try and fix mistakes that we make. It shows that we care. Scalawag showed his feelings for Miss Violet and that he was sorry for his trouble. Thanks to the first responders in this story, because of their help, things did not turn out to be that bad for Scalawag and Miss Violet. Those first responders are everyday heroes in this story and in real life, and we want to express our deepest appreciation for all their hard work. So here's a big thank you to doctors, veterinarians, nurses, firefighters, paramedics, and police officers. Well, I hope you enjoyed this festive story. The title again is Dear Santa. I know it looks bad, but it wasn't my fault. Written by Norma Lewis and illustrated by Olivia Beckman. Published by Peter Pauper Press, Incorporated in 2018. You can get this book at your local library or wherever you can buy books. This is Miss Jones signing off. Until next time. Have a merry holiday. Bye-bye.